I'm sure you've played your fair share of roguelikes this year, but let me avert your gaze to the roguelite genre, a genre that has an obtainable ending and challenging systems without the need for countless deaths to progress. Today, we're looking at Studio HG's Metallic Child, an exceptionally unique roguelite adventure that has the only goal of making the player feel like a complete badass.
この声は
Metallic Child thrusts you into the action as you assume the role of a streamer who has just found an android girl named Rona on the verge of dying. However, with your help, she's able to move and navigate the world to stop her android siblings and confront her mother, who is planning on crashing a ship into Earth. The goal is clear: defeat all of Rona's siblings and then take out her mom. The pacing of the story immediately slows down once you get into dialogue though. The narrative is akin to a visual novel with long moments of interaction between characters. The gameplay doesn't start until about 20 minutes after the tutorial, which thankfully can be skipped. However, that's not the end of dialogue, as Rona has a lot to say, so expect lengthy conversations with her companion Pan and other NPCs met in the dungeons. On that note, the story is much better than your typical roguelite, but you'll have to be anticipating this. Side quests opt to establish NPCs as if they are beneficial to the narrative at large when they have no real impact on it. Still, they provide fun side quests that end up breaking up the dungeon exploration. Once you get into gameplay, I don't believe that I had a hard time really thinking about what the hell I was doing. Every action and every fight happened so incredibly fast that I ended up making actions without understanding the consequences or even caring. You see, Rona has a few different weapon types at her disposal, and more to be unlocked through gameplay. She has a light, strong, and charge attack, which can be used with a grab and throw attack. It seems convoluted at first, but you'll begin to make your way through levels with ease after a while. Each room of the dungeon contains waves of enemies. To escape, you'll need to clear the room, which is then scored and provides a reward. The action revolves around these cores, which are heavily randomized buffs or debuffs. Some enemies drop their cores, which Rona can eat, and you pretty much just get whatever it offers. This can be a buff, but it could also be corrupt with various results, including stat decreases and obscured vision. To remove this, you'll need to wait for a monitor to appear after a fight, which can then install new cores or remove cores. I should reiterate that all of this happens exceptionally fast. First, you don't know what cores you get or what rewards will come after clearing a room. Then out of nowhere, your core levels up, and you may not understand how this benefits you, but hey, it happened. I don't know why I like this aspect of the gameplay so much. It's like sensory overload, but in a controlled way where I had time to respond to whatever the hell was happening. That said, taking time to understand exactly what all these systems do would be beneficial, but I completed the game in 15 hours and still had no clue how everything worked. That's not a negative either. I'm glad the game allows this level of enjoyment even when you don't completely understand the nuances, yet you can still benefit from them. As you play, you'll collect discs, which are used to upgrade weapons and buy cosmetics. However, I don't like how you can also use discs in dungeons to buy stuff or upgrade systems because, as I said, everything happens quickly and I often spend discs that I would have rather saved. Each dungeon has multiple floors capped off by a dungeon boss who is actually one of Rona's siblings. I wish these characters were better fleshed out, since you pretty much meet them right before the fight and then take their power to use in battle. However, the designers decided to make them look really cool, so I wouldn't have minded some brief exchanges between levels. Further, difficulty can be an issue at times, but you'll quickly learn to get through encounters unscathed. It's possible to even get through the boss encounter without getting hit. After a while, you can cheese your way through fights by throwing enemies into hazards and simply spamming some of the overpowered attacks you'll surely pick up. Still, compared to how inexperienced play looks versus the opposite, I'd say there's a healthy growth of skill achieved during the runtime. There are further challenges and rooms for Rona to unlock, but I found myself more attached to the addicting fast dungeon exploration. Environments more so look similar, but the game sometimes throws new perspectives or mini games at the player to shake things up. I enjoyed the voiceover and character designs, which made the long moments of dialogue easier to stomach. Metallic Child is a roguelite with a grand narrative of saving Earth through some truly addicting action systems. The fast-moving structure of dungeon exploration is complemented by engaging combat mechanics and ever-changing challenges. This challenge becomes easier to manage in later hours. Still, the repetitive game loop weighs on the experience if you aren't in the mood for lengthy dialogue and cheesing your way through encounters using the same combos. Noisy Pixel is giving Metallic Child a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review on noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.